So guys, today I'm gonna show you how to make an easy breakfast dish that Afghans love. It's called karai tohom. It's basically an egg karai. So you need about 5 garlic cloves, 6 chilies because we like it spicy, 2 tomatoes and 2 onions, and about 5 eggs. You could add more eggs if you want, and salt to taste. These are all the ingredients. And here I have my heat on 2 because I want the oil to start sizzling up so that I could go ahead, chop my garlic and chilies and my salt all together, put it in this oil, and then add the onions on top and start caramelizing it, making it a beautiful golden brown, and then adding the tomatoes on top of that. So guys, I have my garlic and my chilies chopped up roughly, and my oil is starting to get hot. So before it's too hot, I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic and chilies to the oil, and I let it cook or fry in the oil for about 30 seconds to a minute, just so the flavors come out from these spices before I go ahead and add my onion. And then at this point you can also go ahead and add salt, which will help the onions caramelize faster if you have salt in the oil. So I would say I add about a tablespoon of salt. And of course you can add salt throughout to make sure that you have enough salt, but also remember that we will put eggs on top, so don't make it too salty that you're not able to add any salt to the yolk. Keep it a little under so that when you add salt to the yolk, it doesn't make it super salty. So now at this point I'm gonna let them simmer, and I'm gonna come here and start chopping my onions. And once my onions are chopped, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oil. So as you can see, it's starting to sizzle. I'm gonna mix it a bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add my onions, which I have chopped up right here, just like so. Break it up a little, and you will hear that sizzling. Then your oil is ready, and the oil that I use is just olive oil. I like to cook my eggs in olive oil because of the taste that it has, and also because it's a little healthier, and yeah, and eggs don't take so long to cook this dish, so I won't be frying up the oil too much to change its actual properties. So we're gonna add all of the onions, and so what you will do is just mix in all your onions really well. Get some of the peppers and garlic to come on top so it doesn't burn in the bottom, and just watch it until it caramelizes. It takes about 5 to 8 minutes depending on how high your heat is, how often you turn it. And if you think it's really not caramelizing, you can also just take the top after 5 minutes, cover it, and let some of that water come out to help it caramelize. Right now I'm gonna leave it open for about 3 minutes and see how it goes, and my heat is on 3 right now. And at this time I'm gonna go ahead and chop my tomatoes. And so for the tomatoes, we're just gonna chop them up like this. Try to make it as thin as possible because it will make it easier to mix in and caramelize with the onions. And I didn't do it into cubes because this way it actually caramelizes faster, whereas the cubes, they will be big chunks, so it will take longer. This is what you can see. At this point, if you want, you could add some salt on the tomatoes to help it wilt a little before you put it on the onions. So just lightly while we're waiting for the onions to fry up. And I have my onions right here. So it's been about 3 minutes. So at this point I'm gonna go ahead and just cover the top for a little. I would say for like another 5 minutes. I'm gonna cover the top and see if that will help it to caramelize faster. And I will leave the heat on 3 because the water from the onions will come out, so most likely it's not gonna burn. But if you think it's gonna burn, you can turn it down to 2. So after like 3 minutes, I opened the top and I'm just gently mixing it to make sure that it doesn't burn. And I'm gonna go ahead and cover the top again and leave it for like another 3 minutes and see if that caramelizes my onions faster. So guys, as you see, it's been it's been about 5 minutes, and this husband, a hungry husband can't stop eating. Anyways, it's been about 5 minutes. I opened the top and okay, I know it's delicious. I opened the top and it's pretty caramelized. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the heat down to 3 because I had it to 4. Because I don't want the bottom to burn. Actually, I'm gonna put it to 2 because I don't want the bottom to burn at this stage because most of the water from the onion has dried out. I'm gonna just gently mix it here and there so that it doesn't become any darker than this, but further reduce it so that I could go ahead and add my tomatoes. And my husband is like, I'm gonna go ahead and eat the onions with the raw tomatoes because I'm so hungry, and this is one of his favorite dishes, so he's looking forward to it. And our goal today is to try to get the eggs to stay runny, and that's kind of hard to do, but I'll show you guys a quick trick that will help your eggs stay runny even though it cooks in the same pot with the tomatoes and the onions, because sometimes that's hard to get that egg very runny. So I would say this needs about 3 more minutes of caramelization, and then we're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes. And I'm going to go ahead and actually cover the top because I realized that helps it caramelize faster. So I'm going to keep the top covered for 3 minutes at heat number 2. And then come and check on it and see if it's ready for us to add our tomatoes to it. So guys, it's been another 3 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the top, and yeah, it looks beautiful. This is the color that we want. So at this point I'm gonna go ahead and add my tomatoes just like so, and the water from the tomatoes will further help the onions to caramelize to that saucy gravy like consistency, which is what we want. So once I add the tomatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and mix it, and you guys do that as well so that the onions come on top and the tomatoes go in the bottom. And trust me, it looks a lot right now, but once it caramelizes, it will welt and your sauce will be little, and you want it to be saucy for this dish because that's what makes it so delicious. So guys, this is what it looks like after you mix it in with the onions. I'm gonna go ahead and cover it again for another 5 minutes. Come and check on it to make sure it doesn't burn, and that should help it caramelize with the onions really well. So it was 10 minutes that I kept it covered, and the consistency is perfect. So my husband's gonna go ahead and put in the eggs, and right now the heat is off because we don't want it to cook too fast. If it cooks too fast, then that means that your egg yolk is not going to be runny and it's going to be hard. And we're putting in 6 eggs, which is like 2 for each person. Okay, so how many? And then you can reposition the eggs the way that you like it by using this, the same thing that you were using to mix it. Okay, one more.
If you want,
One more.
8 eggs.
No, the kids are not gonna eat it. It's just for the adults because it's just spicy.
Because
So each person will have 2.
if
That's
you want
enough.
one more in here.
Okay, fine. Put one more. Maybe Mariam will eat it. Okay, so guys, this is it. We're gonna do this, and then now after the eggs are in, we're gonna go ahead and cover the top. Yes?
Yes, thank you.
Clean it with that, yeah. Okay, so
Okay, yes.
he's just going to reposition some of the eggs so they're not too close together. And what are you gonna do with the heat? Are we gonna put it up? Hasib?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put up the heat to like the lowest, which is simmer, and then we're gonna cover the top,
So much.
and then we're gonna come check every 1 minute to see what it's looking like. If you see that the egg whites are cooking faster than the egg yolk, you could go ahead and uncover it so that some of that steam that's gonna be hitting the top of your pan here ends up hitting the egg yolk, which makes the egg yolk cook faster than the egg whites. So if you see that the egg whites are not cooked enough but the egg yolk is cooking, you can uncover it, let the steam come out, which will help the egg whites to cook at that point, and the egg yolk will still stay runny. So that's the trick to making sure that the egg yolk stays runny while the egg white is cooked. So you just have to find that balance. So guys, you see it's been 1 minute and we can see how the egg whites are starting to cook, which is a good sign, and our egg yolk is still runny, which is perfect. I'm just gonna put the heat up for 1 minute and see if that will help it cook a little faster with the egg whites. So guys, I decided to open the top because as you see, the egg yolks are starting to cook really fast. I don't want the egg yolk to become hard, so I'm gonna keep it open for 30 seconds just so the egg whites cook faster, because as you see, this one here, it's about to be fully cooked, and I don't want the egg whites to be fully cooked. I want them to be runny. So I have the heat on like really low simmer. As you can see, it's simmering very slowly. So it's been about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover the top. And put the heat up to 2 so that it cooks a little faster. So as you guys see, it's bubbling up. I have the heat on 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the top because all my egg whites are cooked. I just want the egg yolks to be cooked a little, and that will happen. You can just mix it like this. I see that it's still a little watery, so I'm gonna cover the top for another minute and then it should be done, guys. So guys, it is done. I've gone off, turned off the heat. It's ready to be served, and we like it hot and piping. So enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions about this recipe, and of course you can add more salt and pepper on top if you would like.